It's time to take off your clothes, enjoy clothes-free living, and join us for Naked, Nudists, and Naturists.
Welcome to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, the show that celebrates clothes-free living for all. I'm your host, Frank Stone.
And I'm your correspondent, Lisa Monroe, and I'll be reporting on all things within the Naturist community. So it's time to get naked and join us.
And enjoy clothes-free living on Naked, Nudists, and Naturists. Well, greetings and welcome into Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 40 today. We thank you for being with us. All week long, we look forward to this 1 hour together where we can be clothes-free together and listen about the joys of naturism. Brand new show every Saturday morning, 6 o'clock a.m. Hits Spotify, hits everything else after that. And we give you a brand new preview every Wednesday on YouTube, so check that out as well. The only thing we ask in return is please review and subscribe. Apple, Spotify, YouTube. You'd be doing us a tremendous favor by doing so. And we thank you in advance for that. So let's kick off today's show with ANDEE RODGERS and her husband, Tom.
Hi, this is ANDEE.
And Tom, with the WINR on Wheels, ImPerfect Tour.
The royal treatment is the only way that I can describe our stay so far at Olive Dell Ranch. The people here are so welcoming. You feel like you've been a part of the community your entire life. We enjoyed a home-cooked dinner Friday night, along with about 20 others who came out. Then came karaoke. Oh my goodness, so many great entertainers. And I sang my usual favorites of Hit Me With Your Best Shot and Pontoon, among many others. In between the songs, we talked and effortlessly made so many new friends. And as the night progressed, I noticed so many young people joining in for the evening, and that's so great to see. The night wound down about midnight, and we went to bed talking about how much this club feels like home. When we're back in the area, Olive Dell Ranch will definitely be a must to come back to. So this is ANDEE.
And Tom, and we'll see you down the road.
And there you go, our weekly report now from ANDEE RODGERS of WINR, Women in Nude Recreation for the American Association of Nude Recreation, and her husband, Tom. We have a longer interview coming up with ANDEE RODGERS later this year. I think we'll have her sing Hit Me With Your Best Shot by Pat Benatar. I think that'd be fun. Well, we thank ANDEE RODGERS and her husband, Tom, for everything. We'll have a report on next week's show as well. You're listening to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 40 today. Thank you for being with us. And now let's get into a brief interview that I had with an author from Canada all about being free. My interview with IZAREA. We are heading up to Toronto, Canada today. We're going to talk to a gentleman who has very significant and very deep-rooted thoughts and feelings on life and people and naturism. He's even written a book, Naked, Shameless, Human, and Free, a simple guide to becoming a human being. I think we could all benefit from this. So let's bring him to the show this morning. Steve from the Toronto area. Good morning, Steve. How are you today, sir?
Morning, Frank. I am absolutely amazing. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Not bad at all. And, looking at the cover of your book, I want to thank you, although I should be getting a check in the mail. It looks like you used me as the model for your cover.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right, Frank. The royalties are going to come through as soon as the book starts selling. So don't worry, you'll get your cut.
I appreciate it. And just so our listeners know, there's a guy on the cover, probably the best body ever created under the on Earth in history. And so I was just making a joke. It's not really me. We don't want people to rush out the book, say, oh, that's not Frank. No, it's not. It's not. We're just kidding around.
It's what I wish I would be, right?
That's right. Yeah, all of us do. Well, we want people to get your book and check it out. I had the chance to read through the entire thing. You were kind enough to send it to me. And I did read it a few weeks ago and was enthralled by it. And that's probably what prompted our 20-minute conversation before we started recording the interview. But it's called Naked, Shameless, Human, and Free. And it's under a different name. So put your pen name out there and tell our listeners how they can get your book today.
Yeah, my pen name is IZAREA, which is the Basque word for nature. So it's kind of like the nature wrote the book.
Yeah.
But it's found on Balboa Press. That's where you're going to get the most reasonable price. I've checked out Amazon, the Canadian version of Amazon. I don't know what it's on sale for in the US, but that price is a little inflated. Yeah, so Balboa Press is the best place you can go, balboapress.com, and search out Naked, Shameless, Human, and Free. I believe it's on sale at Barnes & Noble. I don't know if they have them on the shelf. There's no Barnes & Nobles up here in Canada, but yeah, and I'm looking forward to speaking to a local bookstore and seeing about putting them up for sale there as well. So,
well, great to talk to you. We are going to have you back a little bit later this year for a full interview, the full 1 hour interview. And again, we want you to get the book. Check it out right away. Naked, Shameless, Human, and Free by IZAREA. And Steve, your real name in life up in Toronto. Go out there and have a great close-free day. We'll talk again soon.
Yeah, same to you, Frank. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, you're listening to Naked, Nudists, and Naturists, episode 40 today, and as you can tell by the music that's been sneaking in, it's time for the great, the terrific, the one and only Lisa Monroe. And here she is, the one and only, the over-the-top, clothes-free, and smiling to the max, Lisa Monroe. Good morning, Lisa. How are you today?
Good morning, Frank. I'm doing terrific. And you?
Not bad. Did you have a good week? And I hope, for the sake of our listeners, a clothes-free week and happy and smiling?
Always. Right. It was a good week.
Right. We have to get into it right away, a very short segment for the two of us, so don't get mad at me, but we'll make it up down the road. But we got a letter from a gentleman who lives in the country of India. He said his name is Ramaswamy, and he wrote about the Olympics. He just listened to episode 30 when we talked about the nude Olympics way back when. And he said in ancient Greece, a woman once trained her son as a wrestler, and he became an Olympic champion. Overjoyed, she went to congratulate him, and her clothing slipped and stood revealed as a woman. As a rule, only men could participate or coach. The rules were not to be taken lightly, and her offense was punishable by death. So to preclude any more such incidents, all athletes and coaches are required to be naked thereafter. And as I like to say, when we go back in history hundreds of years, we don't really know the truth. We know what's been written, and whoever controlled the narrative controls what we read today. This could be 100% true. I don't know, but it's interesting to think about. Have you heard any other reasons why the Olympic athletes were naked as jaybirds when they participated?
Well, one of the original reasons that I thought I had heard about was the fact that it just was easier to participate. They had great movement, and the Greeks were very proud of their bodies. So they had good body consciousness. And I also read somewhere that their arch rivals that they competed against a lot, the Persians, they did not like the nudity. They were unhappy with that. It went against their beliefs. So the Greeks liked it even better. And so that's one of the reasons that it kind of grew into what it did for so long. And don't forget, rugby players don't play they play without pads. Yeah. So guess what?
That's right.
They could do it in the nude too. So could football players.
And as we've talked before, they do on occasion. They have, mostly for charity, various benefits. They go clothes-free and play a game of rugby. And every picture you see, every video, everybody is happy. The players, the coaches, the fans, nobody is walking out. They're enjoying, I guess, clothes-free playing of sports for all the right reasons. How about that?
I think it sounds like a good thing.
All right. Well, Lisa, unfortunately, we have to cut ourselves short today. We'll get back on track somewhere down the road. But we have to go for now. Our weekly correspondent on naturism, nudism, clothes-free living for all the right reasons, the terrific Lisa Monroe. Thank you, Lisa. Go out there and have a great clothes-free week. We'll see you next time.
You too, Frank. Take care.
Thank you. Now we're going to get to part one of my interview with the terrific Paul Z. Walker, highly prolific author, writes naturist fiction as well. He's a part of the anthology group with Ted Bunn and Will Forrest. So let's get to it right now. My interview with Paul Z. Walker. So let's travel over to the Netherlands. It's over to the Netherlands for me because I'm in the United States. We're going to meet a naturist fiction author, although he also writes so much more. He's part of the great triumvirate with Ted Bunn and Will Forrest when they put their anthologies together, but he's an accomplished writer on his own. So let's welcome him to the show this morning, a naturist fiction writer from the Netherlands, Paul Z. Walker. Good morning, Paul. How are you today, sir?
Good morning, Frank. From my afternoon, I'm doing well. Thank you very much. I hope you can say the same.
I can say the same. It's absolutely terrific here, and a little cold for me, and I think a lot colder for you. But we're making do. We're going to make our way through this, right?
Absolutely, yes. It's a little bit on the cold side here. It's snowing at the moment, -2 Celsius, so it's about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. But we live.
That's right. You ever thought about keeping your house in the Netherlands for the summer, but then buying a second house in Australia? When it's winter for you, it's summer for them. Wouldn't that be kind of nice? Summer all year long.
Oh, that would be really, really nice. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm entirely in favor of that. My bank account has a bit of a problem, but I'm in favor.
That's right. Well, looking at your website, it looks like you have darn near about 100 books out there, not all in Naturist, but about half or maybe a little less than half. Is that fairly accurate?
That's fairly accurate, yes. I think I'm at 35, 40, 45 books in the naturist fiction realm, and non-naturist is, well, that makes up for the rest. I have large forests around where I live. So when it's warm, very warm, in the mornings, I go for a walk, like 3, 4, 5 kilometers. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I meet people who are walking their dog before it gets hot. Mm-hmm. And nobody ever had a problem with it. Occasionally it's, hey, you're nude. Oh, really?
I hadn't noticed.
Yeah. I just respond like, really? As if I didn't even remember or whatever. And that's it. That's really all there is to it. People don't get upset. They don't start screaming. They don't call the police. It's just, okay, you're naked, whatever.
Yeah. To me, that is the best way. We just accept and we go on. Now, if you were being inappropriate, and we always put it on the naturist being inappropriate, what about the clothes person being inappropriate? Because, you can be inappropriate, clothes on or off, right?
Absolutely. Yes. We've experienced that once. When I was at our local nude beach, there were a group of people who came, stayed dressed, and they were there just to gawk.
Yeah.
I love that word, gawk. It sounds nice.
Yeah.
And so some of us walked up to them. What are you doing here? We're just looking. Okay, you've been here for about 10 minutes. You've seen enough. Go away.
Yeah. Well, good for you.
And we actually herded them off the premises because they didn't want to leave on their own. So we had a cordon about 10, 12 people. Imagine that. 5 dressed people, 12 naked people, herding the dressed people off the premises. Go away. We don't need you here.
Was it illegal for them to be there with clothes on, or it's just something you just didn't want to have to deal with?
It's a nude beach. We don't want clothed people there.
Oh, it is it's designated
it's absolutely
as a
designated. It has a big sign, nude beach.
Yeah.
So if they can't read, ask what it says before you come in there.
Yeah. The terrific and highly prolific author from the Netherlands, Paul Z. Walker, and we thank him for all of his time today. Part 2 of my interview with Paul Z. Walker on next week's show. Well, thank you for being with us today on Naked, Nudists, and Naturist, episode 40 today. We give you a brand new show every Saturday morning at 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. Continue to join us. Check us out on our website, nakednudistandnaturist.com, Spotify, Google, Amazon/Audible, Apple Podcasts, and also on Twitter. You can write us anywhere, anytime, any place. And we thank you for being with us today. Plan to join us for every single one of our shows here and have your clothes off when you're listening. We have our clothes off when we're broadcasting, enjoying the naturist life.
We celebrate clothes-free living for all. Remember to enjoy being naked and join us again for Naked, Nudists, and Naturists.
We drop a brand new show every Saturday morning, so come back and join us. Have your clothes off when you do for Naked, Nudists, and Naturists. Have a great clothes-free day.